Hey there, welcome to LC Yoga. My name is Laura, and today's practice is called In the Flow. And that means we're going to be moving in a lot of the poses to increase mobility, really open up. So if you're ready, get on your mat and I'll meet you there. We'll begin today in downward dog. So maybe come down onto your knees first, sitting back on the heels, and then bring the hands forward about shoulder distance apart. Curl the toes under and lift the hips. Start with bent knees, turning the tailbone up toward the sky, and then draw the center of the belly in. Grip the mat with your finger pads, especially the forefinger and thumb. And that'll keep you from slipping forward. Strengthen the shoulders, so maybe bend the elbows slightly, draw them in toward the center line, and then broaden the upper back. And that just strengthens the pose. Grip the mat with your toes as well, spreading the toes wide. Continuously pulling the hips up and away from the hands and away from the heels. The heels don't have to be on the ground. Feel free to bend one knee and then the other, just to add a little mobility in your downward dog. Maybe press the chest through the shoulders, a little bit of a back arch, open the shoulders. Or you can just remain still. We'll be here for just another couple of breaths. And on your next inhale, let the right foot float up toward the sky. And then exhale, step it forward into a lunge. Fingertips stay on the ground, drop the hips, lift the chest, and look forward. And then inhale, plant the hands and let that foot float back up to the sky. Exhaling, step forward again, same thing, low lunge. Inhale, foot back up and away. Exhaling, bring it forward, lunge. This time as you go up and back, now open the hips, bend the knee, and stay in a three-legged dog. Open the hips, open the psoas muscle, the hip flexor. Deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, step it forward into a lunge. This time we're going to come on up. So make sure that back toe is curled under, feeling good. And then rise up into a high lunge. Arms reaching up toward the sky. Shoulders are dropped away from the ears. Deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, let the hands come toward down the sides as you straighten the knee and bring the hands in prayer in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up, bend the knee, come back into lunge. Exhale, straighten the legs, bring the hands into prayer. 2 more times like that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now this time bring the hands to the hips or the waist. Reach the heart up toward the sky, deep breath in, and then start to tilt forward at the hip joint so the back is flat, and we're coming into a pyramid pose. So maybe step the back foot in a little, let the heel come down. Start with a bent knee. Maybe the hands are on the shin. As you straighten the leg or work towards straightening, let the hip go back and away from the foot. We're just looking for a nice tilt here. So if the knee needs to be bent to make that happen, completely fine. the hands come down to the ground, again, start with that bent knee and then pull it back. Pull the hip back. Deep breaths. Now tent the fingertips on the left hand across from your right foot. Again, bend into the knee. And we're going to take revolved triangle. So we're going to start to turn toward the right, right? So that's the first thing to do. Maybe place the hand on the thigh as you turn, twisting toward the right. Now pull the hip back again. Keep the knee bent if it needs to be. Maybe the hand reaches up toward the sky. Maybe it rests on the sacrum. But you're really just looking for a nice stretch right here. And then we're going to flow in this pose as well. So inhale here. And then as you exhale, turn toward your front foot. Inhale, turn the torso, twisting up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale and exhale. This time stay down, lower the back knee, and come on up into Anjaneyasana. Reach the arms up. Inhale, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let the hands come down by the front foot. And now scoot the hips back, toes go up, half split. And on your next inhale, come on forward into that low lunge, chest reaches forward. Exhaling, pull the hips back, half split. Inhale it forward. Exhaling. Now stay in half split. And you can stay still if you like, maybe bringing the fingertips over to the side. As you inhale, ripple the spine up, chest forward. And then exhale, fold. Inhaling, ribbon the spine. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. This time as you inhale, bend into the front knee, plant the hands, and step back, downward dog. Inhaling the left foot up this time. Exhaling, step it. Fingertips on the ground, drop the hips. Inhale, reach the foot back and away. Exhaling, low lunge. Drop the hips, chest forward. Inhale, planting the hands, three-legged dog. Exhale, step forward. This time as you inhale, come back into three-legged dog, bend the knee and open the hip. And let the foot come over by your right hip. Left shoulder pressing down so your shoulders are square toward the ground. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, step the foot forward into a lunge. Make sure that back foot is feeling solid, and then come on up into a high lunge, pressing the right hip forward. Open the hip flexor, arms reach up, chest up. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, let the arms float down, straighten the leg, hands in prayer in front of the heart. Inhale, sink down, reach up. Exhale, rise, hands in prayer. Inhale, sink down, reach up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Now from here, we're going to tilt forward, starting with a bent knee. We're coming into pyramid. Back is nice and flat, so keep that knee as bent as it needs to be, hands to the shin. Start to pull the hip back. Knee starts to straighten, doesn't have to. Maybe the hands come to the floor. Pull that hip back, inhale into a long spine. And then exhale, start to reach the crown of the head toward the toes. Breathe and open. And then we're going to revolve this one. So from here, bend into the front knee, place the hand on that thigh, and then we're going to twist toward the left. All right, so we're opening that shoulder, twist toward the left. Use the hand on the thigh to press and increase that twist. Looking for a nice stretch in the outer hip. So from here, you can place the hand on the sacrum. Maybe it reaches up toward the sky. As you work towards straightening that knee, start to pull the hip back toward the back of the mat. Deep breaths. I'll swim that hand forward as you exhale, and then inhale, turn and open. Exhaling, pyramid. Inhaling, revolve, triangle. A couple more times like that. Now from here, inhale into a long spine as you start to bend into the front knee. Lower the back knee to the ground. Deep breath in, chest reaches forward. Exhaling, pull the hips back, half split. Inhale forward. Exhaling, stretch it out. Inhale and exhale. Now stay here, stretching the crown of the head toward the toes. Toes are singing soprano up toward the sky. It's not about the nose on the shin. It's more about crown of the head reaching toward the toes. And on your next inhale, bend into the front knee, plant the hands, and step on back to a downward dog. Now as you inhale, lift the left foot again. Exhaling, step it forward, and then turn, walking the hands over toward the right. So you're facing the long side of the mat. Inhale into a long, flat spine. The tailbone reaches back and away from the crown of the head. And as you exhale, fold. Now I'm using my hands, pressing into the ground to bring the top of my head toward the floor. Knees can be significantly bent here, depending on your own body and how flexible it is today. Now on your next inhale, tent the fingertips out in front of you, reach the crown of the head forward. Start to bend into the right knee, just about halfway. Inhale it back to center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale and exhale to the right. Do that a few more times. Inhaling to the center, exhaling, bend the knee. Now the next time you bend the left knee, keep it bent. Walk the hands over toward it, and we're going to come on down into Skandasana. So maybe you stay up on the toe mounds. Maybe the heel comes to the floor. Hands in prayer, right toes straight up toward the sky. Close the eyes. Just breathe and open. If you want to reach the left hand out, right arm up. Open the shoulders. And if you want to bind, turn your left thumb down, rotating the shoulder in, and reach it around, bringing your right fingertips behind the left hip, and then turn toward the right. Now, wherever you are, release, press the hands into the ground in the center, bring the hips up, and we'll do the same thing on the right. So bending into the right knee, staying up on the toe mound, or heel comes to the floor, hands in prayer. Just close the eyes and feel. No need to rush to the next stage. Maybe the right fingertips out, maybe the left hand up. Maybe the right thumb turns down, fingertips meet behind the right hip, turning the heart up toward the sky. Wherever you are, release, press the hands, come on back to center. Inhale into a long spine to prepare, exhaling and fold. Now come back to that long spine, turn the toes out, slightly bend into the knees, and bring the hands to the hips. And then come on up to stand. Maybe shake the hips, just release that for a second. Now rebend the knees and bring the hands to the knees or the thighs. And we're just going to flow from side to side doing some side bends here. So start, I don't know about you, but I feel like I need that. So reach up, get long in the side waist, your armpit reaching away from your left knee as you bend over toward the left. Left elbow on the left leg. Breathe into that. And then take that to the other side. Now straighten the legs as you come back to center, reach the arms up, hands in prayer, and bring them down in front of the heart. And we'll do that again, only a little faster. Inhaling over to the left, exhaling to the right. Inhale left, exhale right. Do that with breath a few more times. Just open that side waist. Next time you inhale, straighten the legs, feet front, reach the arms up, and exhale, hands in prayer back to center. Close the eyes just for a couple of breaths. Now open the eyes, rebending the knees. This time, we're going to start to tilt forward, and then we're going to move over toward the right into a side angle. So right foot turns out to the right. Maybe your back foot goes parallel to the back of the mat. The elbow's on the knee, but we're lifting up out of the shoulder. Reach the left arm up. Then turn towards your right foot and come back to center, letting the feet come with you. We're going to go on over to the left. Left elbow, left knee, reach up, side angle. Heart up. You can do extended side angle if you'd like. Your choice. One more breath here, and then guess what? We're going to do that with breath. So start to turn toward your left foot, walk over toward the right, inhaling, side angle. Exhaling over toward the left, inhale, side angle. Exhale as you walk through, and inhale into the pose. Feel that mobility in the side waist. Keep going like that. You can go faster or slower. A couple more times. Now the next time you exhale, come back to center. Inhale into a long spine. Exhaling, fold. Now inhale, walk the hands up. Turn toward your left foot, plant the hands, and step back to a downward dog. Now from here, inhale, reach the right foot up toward the sky. Exhaling, step it forward into a lunge and let the back knee come down. Heel toe your foot over toward the left and let the right knee come down. Shift your weight all the way into the right hip and then swing your left foot around. Tuck your right foot in by your left hip and we'll take heron pose. So we're going to lift the left leg and you can grab a hold of the back of the knee, the calf, or the foot. Start with a bent knee, as always, and start to press the heel up toward the sky as you lift the chest at the same time. So get long in the spine. We don't want to be rounded like that, right? We're not trying to get our nose on our knee, but it's more about the chest going up and away, past your toes. Keep reaching the chest up. Keeping the knee bent enough that you can bend the elbows slightly. Heel pressing away from the hip. Now bend deeply into that knee and take your right hand to the outside of your left foot. Tense your left fingertips behind you. Press down to lift up. And then kick your left foot toward the front of the mat as you twist toward the left, holding on to the outside of the foot. Every time you inhale, you get taller, and as you exhale, you twist. And if you're feeling balanced, you can reach your left fingertips out behind you. And then release, coming forward, bringing your left ankle to your right knee. And we're going to stack ankles and knees for double pigeon. Now, if your knee is floating, support it with your hand or tuck a pillow under there. Long spine. And we're going to start tilting forward, scooting the hips back. If you're sitting straight up and you're feeling a nice stretch, hang out right there. No need to tilt forward. Only tilting if your body's asking for more, meaning you're just not feeling much, right? Keeping the spine long as you come forward. Press the chest forward. So we don't want to round like that. Press the chest forward. And what that does is tilt the tailbone out behind you, tilting the pelvis. And that's where the good hip stretch is. That's what we're going for. Couple more breaths here. And then walk the hands up, cross the legs, and roll on over the knees, pressing the hands, step back, downward dog. And we'll open up the other side. So inhaling, left foot up. Exhaling, step it, lower the back knee, and then heel toe that foot over toward the right. Shift the weight all the way into the left hip, swing your right leg around, and then tuck that heel by your right hip. Right leg comes up, holding the back of the knee. calf or the foot with a bent knee. And then starting to work it towards straightening, but at the same time, you may find yourself like this with a hunched back, chest up toward the sky. Long, straight spine. Heel pressing up and away from the hip. Bend the knee enough so that your elbows can be slightly bent. And then bend deeply into that knee, grab a hold of the outside of the foot, right fingertips behind. And we're going to twist toward the right. So as you twist, start to straighten that leg. Again, it can be bent, so you can be here. Work towards straightening, twisting toward the right, getting tall. Deep breath in, and then exhale, twist. Looking for a nice stretch in the outer right hip and leg. Reach it back if that's accessible. And then release, coming forward, and bring that ankle to your left knee. And we're going to stack knees and ankles. The shins are about parallel to the front of the mat, but they don't have to be. Rock the hips a little, scooting them back so you can tilt the pelvis forward. And again, support this top knee. If that's not working for you, straighten the bottom leg. Right? If that bottom knee isn't feeling good. Fingertips behind, rock the hips, chest forward. Find your double pigeon. So important in these pigeon poses, anything that involves the leg in this position, be super careful with the knees. It's not worth it. So modify so that you're just feeling a nice stretch. It should feel really good. If it doesn't, back right up out of it. When you're ready, start to walk the hands back up, lean back, and then both feet out in front of you, and we'll take Paschimottanasana. Seated forward fold. Scooting the hips back, so again, you can tilt the pelvis. Start with bent knees, chest forward. As you scoot the hips back, the knees start to straighten, and you're just reaching the chest toward the front of the mat. Long spine. You don't want to be like this. So if you're feeling really tight, stay straight up, bend the knees, fingertips behind, and just tilt forward. Change comes over time. Deep breaths, backs of the legs. This is our last stretch, and then we'll rest in Shavasana and close it out. Walk the hands up, scoot the hips down, roll down onto your back, draw the knees into the chest, and just give them a little squeeze. And then let your legs go long out in front of you, about the width of the mat. Feet flopping open, palms open to the sky. Snuggle the shoulders in, get comfortable. Close the eyes, take a deep breath in, and let it out through an open mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Now you can stay here as long as you like, absorbing this energy. And when you're ready, start to bend the knees and place the bottoms of the feet on the floor. Hands to the upper thighs. Start to draw the knees in toward the chest. Wrap your hands around, fingers interlaced. Or maybe just hands on the knees and start to roll around, knees in a circle. Just massage the lower back. Do that a few times in one direction and then go the other. Now wrap your arms around the knees. Draw them in, give them a squeeze. Give yourself a hug. Grab the backs of the knees and roll on up to sit. Find a comfortable seat. Backs of the hands to the knees. Close the eyes. We always do a closing ritual. It just sort of ties a bow on your yoga practice so that you can move into the day with its energy, but just keeping your time on the mat in its own little space within. Thumb and forefinger touch in chin mudra, connecting body-mind. Take this energy with you into your day or your evening. Namaste.